Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video we are working on a big sweater for men, and as you can see here, it is completely not the size that I usually do at all, because I often do things that are for me to be able to try them on for pictures for you guys to see how it looks like. But this time I wanted to make one for my husband. This is inspired by a sweater Jason Momoa had online. So I figured I would make something that is similar to that, but obviously with my own twist. And yeah, I hope you guys will like this. It's very simple to do. We have done the granny squares and hexagon squares, all of these hexagon projects, all of these things in the past. So there's no difference with this one. It's just we're doing something a little bit different in the middle of the back, and then as well as we're doing buttons, which we haven't done with any of the hexagon sweaters we have done. Yeah, so something different. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my material so we can talk about those, and then we can go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so for this project, this is the products I'm gonna be using. So as you can see, I have my 4 colors set up on the table here. I have my black, my navy blue, my off-white, and my light blue. So again, these are all from Azurite here. This is the yarn I use most of the time, and this one here is going to be a We Heart yarn by Hobby. So this one is 100% acrylic, is the lightweight number 3, and so are all these ones here. And they're about 50 grams per skein. Okay, recommended hook size about 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook, but for this project here I'm going to be using a 5 millimeter crochet hook, which is H8 US. I also have my darning needle here, as well as some stitch markers, and of course we need a tape measure to determine the sizes. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so to begin, I'm going to start with the off-white color. So for this part of the project, we're just using our black and our off-white colors, and we're going to be doing majority of our project in these 2 colors. The navy blue and the light blue are going to be something that we do for the back, and I'm going to obviously show you guys that. So for now, we start with the off-white, and we're going to leave a tail hanging like this because we're doing a magic circle. So I just loop my yarn around my thumb like this, and then I just kind of slip it off, put my hook through, and then I will do a slip stitch like that, or I will bring it through like this, like I'm about to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And so I'm going to go ahead and yarn over, go into my magic circle, bring it back, and complete a double crochet just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and yarn over, go into the circle, complete my second double crochet. So now I have 3 double crochets because my chain 3 that I began with counts as a double crochet. So I will do a chain 1, and then I will do 3 more double crochets into my magic circle. So 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll do a chain 1, and I will do 3 more into the magic circle. So 1, 2, and 3, and as you can see, I'm bringing my tail that is hanging along with it. I just bring it around the circle. Okay, so I have that. I will chain 1, and then I will do 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and I have how many? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 clusters. I will do 2 more. So chain 1, and then I'm gonna complete 3 more. This is getting too big, so I can just pull it a little bit like this to make it smaller, like that. So chain 1, and then I'll do 3 more double crochets here. So 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1, and I will do 3 more. Okay, so you guys know that this is a hexagon. We're going to be doing a hexagon granny stitch. Okay, so that's why we do 6 of these clusters. That's why we do 6 of these granny stitches. Now that I have that, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my tail and pull it, and then it creates a circle like this for me. Okay, make sure you have the 6. I already counted mine. I have 6. And then here I will chain 1, and then I'll slip stitch on top of the chain 3. So 1, 2, and the third I will slip stitch there like this. Okay, like that. So that's how it should look for the first row. And then you need to do another row. So we're gonna go ahead and do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3. And you're always going to start your row with the chain 3, and it will always count as a double crochet. Okay, and then I'm gonna yarn over, and into that chain 1 gap from the in the previous section, we're gonna go into that and complete 2 more double crochets to make it a granny stitch. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna skip these 3 stitches, and in the chain 1 gap I'm gonna go ahead and complete 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. But I'm not done with this gap here. I'm gonna chain 1, and then I'm gonna go into the same gap and complete 3 more double crochets. So this is a corner that we're creating here, and this corner is gonna be something that we do all around like this, okay, for this row. So now that I have created my corner here, I'm gonna go ahead and skip these 3 stitches, and in the next chain 1 gap I'm gonna go and repeat what I just did here, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, and that's gonna be creating a corner. So I'll do 3 more here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, like that. And then I will move on to the next chain 1 gap, and I will do another corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, so it's a very, I mean, I have done multiple projects on the channel that are using this stitch, so I'm only explaining it like this for those of you who may be clicking on this video and you have not seen the other videos, and especially if it's your first time doing this kind of project. Okay, so just like that. And then I will move on to the next gap here and complete another corner, and your corners will always be chain 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. That's how you will know it's a corner, is when you complete it like that. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll move on to the next corner, and I will complete another corner. Okay, we'll move on to the chain 1 gap and complete another corner here. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. Okay, and then now I go and finish this corner here. So as you see, we only did 3 double crochets to begin the row, and we need to make this a corner as well. So we just go into that same gap and complete 3 more double crochets, and we already have 3 from beginning the row, so we don't have to do another 3 because we already have the 3. Okay, so like just like that. But to be able to create a corner here, I'm gonna chain 1, and then I'm gonna go ahead and count 1, 2, 3. So in this third stitch, here, I'm gonna go ahead and I would have completed a slip stitch here, but I won't because I need to change the color. So this is where I'm gonna change to the black. So I'm gonna leave this like this. I'm gonna bring in my scissors and cut my yarn somewhere here. Okay, and then I will bring in the black. Okay, and I'm gonna now change to the black, and I will do 2 rows. So as you have seen in the pictures, I'm doing 2 rows of each of these colors to create one side of the hexagon, and we're gonna do the same on the other side. And then the 2 blues are gonna be incorporated in the back of the project, but it's gonna come a lot more later. Okay, so to change the color, as you can see, I have these 2 loops here. I have the yarn I just cut. I will move it to my right hand side and hold it like this here, just like this. And then I will bring my black and I'll just bring it in like this. Okay, so this is just as the tail that is hanging from the black. And then I'll do a chain 3, and then I will pull the white a little bit here, and I'll pull the black a little bit as well, just to kind of make it a little bit tight. And I will hold this on my right hand side, and then we're going to go ahead and create our 3 double crochets here. So my chain 3 counts as a double crochet, but we'll add 2 more double crochets to make it 3, like that. Okay, and then now we're gonna go into this gap here, but this gap here is not a corner, so we're just gonna complete a normal 3 double crochets. And you know it's not a corner because it's not part of the 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So that's how you know it's not a corner. And then now we know it's a corner here, so we're gonna go into the chain 1 gap and we're gonna do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, so chain 1, and then I'll complete 3 more double crochets into the gap. So 1, 2, and 3. Oopsie. And then the next here is not a corner, so I'm gonna go ahead and complete just 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. And then in the next one here, it's a corner, so I'm gonna do a corner. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, and then we move on to the next one. It's a non-corner, so we're gonna do 3 double crochets. Oops. And then we go into the next right here, and we complete a corner because it's a corner. Okay, and then a non-corner. So I'm gonna complete just this row with you guys. The rest I will have you guys complete. I will explain how you get to the size that you want. And if you're a beginner and you don't know how to continue, you just kind of want a little bit more help, I'm gonna link a video in the description box of one that I did that is a lot more detailed. That way you have something that you can follow a little bit more closely, and I do a lot more rows to show you how it continues to build up as you continue to go. But for those of you who have, who know how to do this kind of project, I don't need to explain for another 10 minutes how to continue to do the same thing, because you just repeat these all around, just changing the color, repeating, changing the color. So it's not gonna be something that you want to kind of waste too much time on. But yeah, if you're a beginner or this is your first time looking at one, just look at the video in the description box, click on that, and it's gonna walk you the steps a lot slower, and also a lot more in details, and as well as a little bit longer than what I'm showing here. Okay, so I'm about to finish my second last corner. Okay. Okay, and then now we're on the final corner here, and in this corner I just have to go in and complete 3 double crochets. I don't need to do any more because I have the other 3 on the other side or at the beginning of the row. So all I have to do here is do 3, chain 1, and then slip stitch on top of the chain 3 that we started the row with. Okay, slip stitch, and then we go ahead and start the second row, and we just repeat these until you have what you need. So again, because I'm making this for my husband, he's a lot bigger than me. So what I did was I measured the width of the widest part of his arm. Okay, so I measured that around like this. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need to make sure that the part of the project is gonna have the width of his arm like this, so that he can actually have his arm go through, or that it fits in a comfortable way. Okay, so what you will do is you will just work this until you have the if you measure one of the sides, that it comes up to the width of the person's arm. And of course, make sure you incorporate the looseness, because you don't want it to be too tight unless that's the point, but you want to make sure you incorporate the looseness so that the person can wear it comfortably. So I'm going to continue to work this until I have that size. I don't know how many rows that's going to be, so I will probably tell you when I come back how many rows I will have. And so yeah, go ahead and continue doing this, and when you have achieved that size, come back to the video and I will show you what to do next. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed one of my sides here. So as you can see, I just alternated my colors, where I did 2 rows of the white and then 2 rows of black, and I alternated that like that. I ended up finishing it off in the black because when I do the back of it, I want to be able to, the next row is going to be for the white, okay? So it's going to have a continuation of it like that. But I've gone ahead and slip stitched here, and I've already cut off my yarn, as you can see here. I have about 24 rows that I have completed. Okay, so again, it's a lot bigger than what I would do for my size because it's for my husband. And so with that done, I am going to just fold it in the way that you would see it being one of the side of the sweater. So as you can see, if you fold it, then it would look like this. So this would be the sleeve here, this would be part of the body here. Okay, so when I was talking about measuring the circumference of the arm, this is what I was talking about. So this would be something that you would put flat like this, and then you would measure across like this. And for example, this is 22 inches. My husband's arm is not 22 inches. This is quite wide. It's a little bit, I think it's about like 16 or something like that, but I incorporate the rest of it so that it has a loose fit to it, because it's a cardigan. Like, you don't want it to be too tight, you want it to be a little bit comfortable. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So then if I refold it back like this, if I measure like this here, then you will see it's about 10, maybe not really 10, wait, like that is about yeah, about 10 inches. So 10 inches like this, and then 10 inches on the other side. And I think it's because it's folding here, you don't get the size accurately as you would do if you have it flattened down. Okay, so this is one side completed, as you can see here. Okay, so very nice, it's not, we're gonna increase the size in the bottom, or if you don't want to, but for him, because he's a big guy, I'm probably gonna end up increasing in the bottom here. But so far we can also obviously increase the sleeves, so this is gonna go further down as well, because this is not at all the length of the sleeve that he needs. But for now, we're gonna leave this like this. We're gonna work on the second one, so you can have 2 exactly identical, and when you have completed those, come back to the video and I will show you what to do next. Okay, so just rewind the video if you need to, and start back here where you just alternate the colors again. And by the way, I didn't say this, but like, this is the colors that my husband chose. You can obviously do this project with any colors that you want. You can do it in solid, you can do it in multiple colors, you can do it in any color yarn that you want. Okay, but this is for me the colors that my husband decided to choose. So yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna start working on my second one. When it's done, I'm gonna come back to the video, and we're gonna talk a little bit about how we do the middle part of the sweater, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my second part of the sweater, and as you can see, this is the other one that I just finished, and I've done the same thing. I just slip stitch and cut it off. And by the way, you have all the yarn hanging where you change the colors. What I did all here is I just knotted these sections here. I just literally take 2 like this, and I just knot because it's very hard to weave these in. At least I find it. If you can weave it in, go ahead and do that, girl. It's absolutely up to you. But what I do for this is I just knot them like this, like multiple times, 2 to 3 times, and then I will cut them all off. I'm not doing that right now because it's something I can just do off camera, but like I will do all of this like this and then cut them off. For the middle here, I will split this and then kind of weave it in like this, weave one on this side, weave one on this side, and then tie it and then knot and then cut it off as well. I just find that it stays secure when I do it like this. Okay, you can do exactly however you like. So for the second one here, again, if I fold it like this, okay, and again, if you don't know how to fold this, what I do is, so you have 6 corners here. So I take one corner, just whatever corner, whichever corner you want. You take that corner and then you count 1 to the left, you count the next corner is here. the next corner is here, so 2, and then in the third corner you go ahead and put those together, and then when you flip it you have a sleeve like this. Okay, and there you go. That's how you will do it. Okay, so we have these 2 completed. Now the next thing that I would like to do is do the middle part, because this is a little bit different from what I have done before, because we have not needed to do anything different in the back. We have just joined here. After creating a little bit of a gap in the back, we would join it, and then that's done, and then we would pretty much work on increasing the sleeves on each side and then doing a border in the middle. But because I am doing something different in the middle here, so what I do is I'm just gonna move it a little bit like this, and I'm gonna move it a little bit like this. So instead of it staying like this, we're gonna have like squares that are gonna go in the back like this, and then eventually we will join them to the back like this. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm going to now bring the other colors in that I have told you. So I'm just gonna put these guys out. And the other thing too is that when you do your squares, make sure you do your squares to fit here, along here. So it's gonna take a little bit of work to try and see how many squares you need. So I'm gonna do probably about, I don't know, I think if I do about 4 squares, I think they will fit back here. But let's say, for example, yours has a little bit of a gap, like you have 4 squares, but there's a little bit of gap left. It's probably worth it a little bit to remove a couple of rows so that you have the number of squares that fit in the back. And if you want, you can also increase by doing more rows to have the amount of space to do 1 more square, so you would end up adding a 5th square. So it's up to you in that case. Okay, but I'm gonna put these guys away for now. So I'm gonna put those away, and I'm going to do the squares. So I'm just gonna show you one that I have done already here so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the square that we're going to do in the back. So what I did, I thought it would look nice to start with the navy blue, 2 rows, and then 2 rows in the baby blue or the light blue, and then 2 rows in the off-white. And the reason obviously that I end with the off-white is, like I said previously, I wanted to make sure that, because I ended with the black here, that I start the next with the white, so that it continues like this. So I will end up connecting these here and the other half of the other work over here. If you cannot see this is not good, so let's bring it like this. So it would be like this. So it would be like the black, the white, the black, the white, the blue, the baby, light blue, the baby blue, the navy blue in the back. Okay, so this is what I have already done here. So I'm going to show you how to do one like this. And for me, I will need 4 because I've already measured the length of in the back, and I'm going to need 4 of this. So you're going to do based on how many you need. If you need them to be less, you could even do 1 row of this here, 1 row of this, 1 row of this, or you can do 2 rows here, 2 rows here, and then 1 row in the white. However you want to make it so that it's small enough to fit in the back. Okay, so this is what we're going to work on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the navy blue. Okay, if I can find the tail here. Okay, so I have the tail. I found the tail, I think. Oh yeah, there you go. So I found the tail. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the square here. So it's a little bit different from how we did the hexagon, because obviously with the hexagon you need 6 squares, but you need only 4 with the 6 corners, but with the square you need only 4. So I'm gonna go ahead again, we just leave the tail a little bit long. I will do a slip stitch. I will do like magic circle, and then I'll yarn off and bring it through, and I'll do a chain of 3 just like we did the other part. And then I'm gonna do 3 more double crochets here, or 2 double crochets to make it 3 with the chain 3. So that's the first granny stitch, chain 1. I'm gonna do this 3 more times because we need 4 altogether. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now if we count, we have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm gonna pull this to close it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a chain 1 and then connect it by slip stitching on top of the chain 3, just like that. Okay, so that is my first row of this square. Then I'm going to do a chain of 3, and then in this chain 1 gap I'm going to complete 3 more double crochets, or 2 more to make it 3, because my chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Okay, and then I'm gonna skip these 3 stitches, and in the next gap, which is the chain 1 gap, I'm gonna do a corner. So I'm gonna do 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets, because we need to do a corner. So in terms of the work itself, it works very similar to what we just completed, the body of the sweater, but obviously we're doing a square here, not a hexagon. Okay, so I skip 3 stitches, and then in the next stitch, which is the chain 1 gap, I do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then I do a corner here as well, so 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Again, for those of you who are beginner, if I'm moving too fast here, I will link a second video, and this second video is gonna be where I do a granny stitch sweater, but it is using the square as opposed to the hexagon. Okay, and it's gonna show you how to do what I just did here, but a little bit more in detail and a little bit more slower. And the color is a little bit more better to see as well, because as you can see here, I'm starting off with a very dark color, so it's a little bit difficult to see. So the second video link is gonna be of another project that I did, so you can follow properly if you need to. Now I have reached the corner here. I have completed the remaining 3 double crochets to complete this corner. I will chain 1, and on top of the chain 3 that I started the row with, I'm gonna go in that. But instead of completing a slip stitch, I'm gonna change the color, because I need to change now. After 2 rows, I need to change to the light blue. So I'm gonna bring it like this. I'm gonna cut this yarn here, somewhere here. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring in the light blue. And again, oh, I dropped my yarn. The way you're gonna alternate your colors is gonna be absolutely up to you. I'm alternating it like this because I just wanted to do it like this. And again, it's something that I'm making for my husband, and he liked these colors alternated like this. Okay, so it's very important to talk to the people that you're working to get something done for them to choose the color patterns and all of that kind of stuff, because then they will enjoy wearing it more. Okay, so again, I take this and I just bring it to the right hand side here, so I can hold it here, and I bring my blue just across like this, and then I'll chain 3, and then I'll pull the light blue, I'll pull the navy blue to tighten it up a little bit, and then in the chain 1 gap from the previous space, I will do 2 more double crochets, because my chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Then in here I will complete 3 double crochets, because it's not a corner, I don't have to do a corner. And then I will go into the corner now and complete a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the same gap. Okay, so it's not too complicated here at all. Very, very easy. And like I said, I'm doing 4 of these squares because I've already measured, and about 4 is going to give me the size that I need for the back of the sweater. And then I do 3 double crochets here because it's not a corner. Then I move on to this gap here and complete 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets because it's a corner. So again, I'll just finish this light blue, and then I'll have you guys finish the white, because it's literally just repeating this about 6 times, because you do 2 rows of each of the colors. So we're already working on our 3rd row here. We're gonna complete a 2nd row of the light blue, change the color to the off-white, and then do 2 more rows, and then that's it. And then you cut off the yarn, you slip stitch, you cut the yarn off, you do the next square, and then you do that however many times or however many squares you need. For me, I've already done that one, so this is gonna be my 2nd, and after that I will do 2 more. Okay, voila. And then a corner, a non-corner, where we just do 3 double crochets, and that's it. And then we move on, and then we go into the corner that we did not complete, because we started off by doing 3 double crochets but it's not completed. So we will add 3 more double crochets to complete this corner, like that, and then chain 1, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch on top of the chain 3, just like that. Okay, so this is my 3rd row. I'm going to complete a 2nd row with this, which means I start a chain of 3 and then go into this chain 1 gap and do 2 more double crochets, move to here, do 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets in the corner, do 6, so 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, do a non-corner, which is just 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and then do a corner, and then continue like this. When you get to here, you will change the color, so you will just go through, but when you have 2 loops on the hook, you will cut your yarn, bring the off-white in, and then do 2 rows of the off-white. So you should have something like this at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete my remaining 3. So finish this, do 2 more, and when I have 4 of these all together, I will come back to the video so we can move on to the next part of it. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my 4 squares. So these are the squares that I need for the back of the sweater, and as you can see, they're just 4 even pieces, nothing complicated or anything like that. What I did here too, where the color changed, I just knotted it like we did the body, and so I just have them staying like this for now. Okay, so what I will do now is we need to join these 4 pieces into one long piece like this. We want it to be something like that. So we bring in our darning needle, and then we bring in the white, because I'm gonna join it with the white because that's the last color that we had finished each row with. Okay, I'm just gonna cut my yarn here. Okay, so I cut some of my yarn. I cut one long enough to be able to join all 4 pieces, and I'm just gonna insert it into the darning needle here, something like that. Maybe it's a little bit too long, but it's okay. And then you want to be able to join this so that the right side, they're all facing one side. The right side is facing the right side. So I consider these here the right side, and I consider these here the wrong side. And the guide is going to be the hanging strings. This is going to be the side that it's going to end up being the inside of the sweater. So you don't want to join it like this. You want to join it like this, so that you join it here as opposed to joining it like this. Okay, let me maybe show you what I mean, because it sounds a little bit complicated. So for example, I will put them together like this. So the wrong side of the one piece is facing down, and the wrong side of one of the second piece is facing up, and then I'm going to join it like this. So I bring my darning needle in, I will hold it like this, and what I will do on top of the chain 1 of the corner, I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go on top of the chain 1 of the corner on the other side, and I'm going to pull this through just like that. Then when I get to here, I almost lost it. When I get to here, I will knot it. So I'll just bring this through, knot it, pull it not too hard but not too loose either, and I'll do that twice like this. And then I will go ahead and just continue to join the rest like this. So I'm gonna line up this stitch to that stitch. Just want to make sure I do it properly here. Okay, and then you pull like that, and then you're gonna join the next. So you're gonna go ahead and grab the next stitch like this, and you're grabbing both loops of each of the stitches that you're joining, just like that. And then now the next one is this one, which corresponds to this one on the other side, and then you pull. And make sure you don't pull too tight here. You don't want it to be too wrinkled up by the tightness of the stitches. You want it to be tight, but it's still not too tight, because when you do open it up, you don't want it to be rigid and it doesn't open properly. Okay, so just like this and like this. So we just go ahead and join this piece. So I'm showing you how to do this one, and then I will have you join the other two to these two that we would have completed. So I'm just taking you to the end of this here, and then when we have one long piece, we will join it to the body of the sweater, and again it's going to be to the back of the sweater. And then at that point we can work on increasing the length of the sleeves. And then we can also, after we finish the sleeves, we will work on increasing the bottom, if that is what you want. If you want the bottom to be increased. If not, then you don't have to. So what I will suggest is, after you finish putting the back, you would want to have the person try it on, whoever you're making these for. And then you can tell how much more to do for the sleeves. And then after that, you will also discuss if they want it to be a little bit longer, or if this length is long enough. So again, now I'm on top of the corner here, the chain one corner that like we started on the other side. I'm gonna go into this, and I'm gonna go into the next, the same one on the other side. I'm gonna do that once, and I'm gonna go into it twice. For the second time, I'm gonna bring this around like this and pull, and that just simulates a slip stitch. And then I will cut this off here. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So this is where you joined, and you would want to just kind of play with it a little bit here like this, and you will see that this is the right side, this is the right side. So now that it's like this, I'm gonna bring a second piece, and I'm gonna place it on top of that, and then join here. Then I'll open it like this when it's finished. I'll bring the third one, put it like this, join it. Okay, so go ahead and finish joining these pieces. When you have joined everything, come back to the video, and I will show you how to then join it to the big piece, and then we will go ahead and go from there. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and joined my 4 squares here. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. And this is going to be the part of it that's going to be the inside of the cardigan, and this is the outside. Is much cleaner. And as you can see, I've also gone ahead and just trimmed off the hanging and loose yarn that we had here, with the exception of the middle, because in the middle I have to kind of work with it a little bit easier and delicately. So I'm going to do that at the end. But yeah, we have these completed. So now what we will need to do is, I'm just going to grab one of the side of the cardigan here, where we're going to make sure we join. Okay, so I'm gonna just grab this part here. So when I put this like this, okay, so let's say this is here, the part that's gonna be the body of the cardigan. And as you know, we're gonna need to put this guy and join it in the middle here like this. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just gonna hold this like this and move it to the bottom, just to show you guys how it fits right to the bottom. Okay, so I did my measurement so that these 4 squares come right to the bottom of here, and this is how it's gonna work out better for you. If it's not, you can always remove, like I said, one of the rows in the squares in the back, or you can increase this to fit, or you can decrease it to come in a little bit. Okay, all right. So again, when it comes to joining this to the bottom, we know that this is the inside. So again, we have all our tails hanging here, so we know that this part is the inside of our cardigan. And then this is gonna be the outside. This is the part that we want to have as the outside. So what we will do is we will join the square to this part here, but we're gonna actually have this go, this is the outside, we're gonna have it go like this. Let me just double check here. Yeah, so it's gonna go like this. We're gonna join it like this, so that when it's joined, this is gonna be the outside. Okay, so we want this part here to be joined to our work like this. I'm just grabbing this and I'm gonna flip it. So we want it to be joined here like this. Okay, so what I will do, and you can use the black yarn or the white yarn, it doesn't matter at this point, and we're just gonna join these all the way across here, all the way to the top. Okay, so just like this. So since I still have some of the white here, I will try to join it with this. I may not have enough of it, but I will pretty much take this and join it all the way up like this. So again, I just go to the corner here, and then I grab the corner part here, and then I'll grab the corner part in the bottom on the other side, and I'm gonna pull that through. And then when it gets to here, I'm gonna knot it. Okay, I'm gonna knot these, not just once, but twice or 3 times. And then I'm gonna just do the same thing that we did with the sleeve, with the squares. And I'm just gonna join this guy all across like this. At some point I'll probably have to add more yarn because I don't think I have enough yarn here, but we will get to that when we get to that. Okay, and again, don't pull too much. You don't want this to wrinkle up because you're pulling it too tight. Just decent amount of, you know, pulling. Then you're gonna go all the way like we did the squares, all the way to the top here. When you get to the top here, come back. I will discuss how we then add the other part of it on the other side, and then how we're gonna end up working with the sleeves. Okay, so I'll see you guys when you finish this part, when this part is joined all the way to the top. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and connected it. So as you can see, this is how it looks here. This is the side that's going to be the inside of the back of the sweater, and this side is going to be the side that will be the outside. So the good side, the right side, whatever you want to refer that to as. So this is done here. So we just have to join the other piece. So the other piece on the other side, we have to do the same. So I have it here. So all I have to do is just grab any corners. It doesn't matter which corners. Just make sure that the bad side or the negative side is facing the same side like this. So this is the side that's gonna go inside, and also you want this to be the side that's gonna go on the inside. And then you're just gonna go ahead and join this all across like this, just like we did the other one. And when you have both of them completed, then come back to the video. We will go ahead and refold this cardigan the right way so that we can work on the other parts of it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just do the same thing here, and I'll be right back. Okay, my lovelies, so I have joined the middle part here. So as you can see, I joined this on both sides. So it's joined here, it's joined here, and now we just have pretty much what would be like a cardigan. This is the sleeve, one of the sleeves here. That is one of the sleeves there. And then as you can see, we have the bottom part of the cardigan right here. Now, this is going to be increased a little bit here, I think. But for now, the one thing we need to do is we need to join from here all the way to here, because as you can see, it's open. So we have to join the top here. And then we also have to do the exact same thing on the other side. And then it will pretty much look like something you can try on. So I'll have my husband try it on to see if I need to increase the bottom here. And also, of course, for the sleeves, because his arm is not this short. So we're going to need to increase the sleeves as well. But for now, we will just need to make sure we join from there all the way on top, and then on the other side as well. And make sure you reflip it the right way to be able to do the joining. And then when that's done, we will start by working on the sleeves, because I know the sleeves have to be increased. So I will show you how to increase by starting on the sleeves. And then if we need to increase the bottom, we will do that at a later time, okay? So for now, let's just join both sides and then come back to the video. Okay, my lovelies. So I have gone ahead and joined the top here. So as you can see, the top of the sleeve is joined. I did it on the opposite side, and then I flipped it so that this is the nice side that would show. So it's going to be how it's worn. This is going to be the outside of the sweater. And of course I did that on the same side, on the other side as well. So the same thing, but on the other side. And so now this is pretty much how the sweater looks. And so I'm just going to show you how to work on the sleeve. So I'm going to increase the sleeve here, and I'm going to work on both. And then I will be able to show you how to increase the bottom, and then how to do the neckline here, because we still have to do the neckline area, okay, or like the front area. So all I will do here is just grab any of the sides. So I will say maybe in the middle here. I will go ahead and start with the white because we have the 2 rows in the black, and then so I'm going to do 2 rows in the white and then 2 rows in black, and then we're going to continue the alternation like that. So with my white here, I'm just going to show you how to do maybe a row or 2, and then I'm going to have you work on your sleeve until you finish the length that you need. So make sure you're measuring the person that you're making it for, or make sure they're trying it on as you go so that you can see where to stop, or just anything like that. Okay, so I will do a slip knot here. Okay, so slip knot, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just go into this gap right here, and then I'm gonna bring my loop through just like this. And then I'm going to do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3. And this chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. And keep in mind, you're working on the good side. The outside side, the clean side is where you're working from. You're not working on the side that is going to be the inside. Okay. And then you're going to do 2 double crochets. And like I said, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So you make it 3 by doing 2 more like this. And then from there, there's this gap here. We're gonna go ahead and do 3 double crochets here. So I'll just go ahead and complete 3 double crochets, and then I'll move on to this gap here and complete 3 double crochets. Okay, just like this. And then I will move on to this gap here and complete 3 double crochets. So in this for this round here, we're just going to do 3 double crochets on every single gap until we come back to this section here. So you should be able to do 3 double crochets here, which is your last, and then come back to the video. I will show you how to start the second row, and then I'm going to have you guys pretty much work the rest of it until you have the length. But for now, just come back when you have reached this section here. Come back so I can show you what to do next. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my first row in the white here, and as you can see, I am back to where we started off. So I did my 3 double crochets here. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch on top of the chain 3 that we began the row with. I'm just gonna go into the stitch like this, bring that back, and then go across. Okay, so that is the end of this row. For the second row in the white, I'm gonna start by doing a chain 3. And then in this gap here, I'm going to do 2 more double crochets to make it 3. So this is my granny stitch here. And then I'm going to go into the next gap and complete 3 double crochets. And then I just continue to do that across until I come back here. So I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about how we're going to continue to change. So I'm going to obviously bring and the next 3 double crochets, this row that I just started will finish off here, and then I will slip stitch here. But instead of slip stitching, I will actually change the color back to the black. And so I do what I showed you guys earlier, where I go in, and when I have 2 loops on the hook, I cut the yarn, I bring the second yarn in, I bring it in, and then I do start my 3 double crochets after doing my chain 3. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to work on this until I have the length of the sleeve that I need. So I have already measured my husband, and his sleeve is gonna go probably, I would probably say I have another double, like from here to here, another doubling that again. So from here to here, I'm doubling this size here for him. He wants the sleeve to stay flared, like to stay out like this. So he doesn't want it to be snatched in or to do something that brings it in. He wants it just to stay loose like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you want to do yours so that it kind of comes in, check out the same video that I told you guys earlier in the description box below, and it's going to show you how to do the sleeve so that it's tighter on this section here. Okay, so but for now, I'm going to complete this sleeve here, and I'm going to switch my hook to the other side and complete this sleeve, and then I will come back because I will show you guys how to increase the bottom here. And then when we do that, we will also do the middle part here. Excuse me, I have not asked him yet if he wants like maybe this section here to have a different type of a stitch, to have a like a middle part of it here. I don't know, so I need to talk to him about that. When I do, I will come and let you guys know what I'm doing. If not, if you want it just to stay the way it is here, I still have to increase it a little bit. So which means I can probably just work as one across like this. I can just do a couple of rows like this. It will bring these in, and it will also increase the middle, and it will make sure that it has like a neckline here that is gonna be nice as well. Okay, but for now, let's just work on the sleeves and then come back when it's done. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and worked on the sleeves. So the last thing that we did was to increase the length of our sleeves here so that it fits the length of the arm of the person that this is made for, in this case my husband. So I have worked and increased from where we stopped off here. So this is where the our Granny Hexagon kind of brought it to, up to here. And then from here I just increased it, so I did about 21 rows, or 20 rows actually, from here to here. I just had my husband try it on. The sleeves are long enough, but we could increase it, but I'm working with the yarn a little bit here, just in case I run out of the yarn. So I stopped here, but as you can see, I ended up doing 3 or 4 rows of the in the black at the end, just to kind of have it look a little bit different. And of course I did the same on this side here. Okay, so the sleeves could be increased a little bit, or it could just stay like this because it's not that bad. It fits him up to here, but we're gonna have to see when everything is done and he tries it on, if it is the length that he needs or he wants or he prefers. And if it's not, then we can increase or decrease. So that's not a big deal at all with that. Okay, so so as you can see, of course, this is the middle that we have done to make it a little bit different. The biggest thing here is that when he tried it on, this was literally like a crop sweater on him. He's a big guy, so it's too short. Like this length here is too short. So we're gonna increase the bottom part of the sweater by about 8 inches, 8 to 10 inches. So that is what I'm gonna show you guys what to do now. Okay, so if you want to increase the bottom of your sweater, this is what I'm gonna show you. Now the other thing too is that I had the option to increase it in this color here. So we have 2 options. I can either increase it by using these colors in the bottom, or we can increase it with the black. And then to do the neckline, because we still have the neckline here to do, I could do that in these colors here, which is the navy blue, the light blue, and the off-white. And I think that's the choice I'm gonna go for. I haven't asked him yet, so I think he would like it like that. But that way I can increase the bottom here by using the black and off-white, just the 2 color, alternating the 2 colors again, like we did using the granny stitch, until I have my extra 8 inches. And then if it is, and then we will do alternate these colors for the neckline, because I think it's gonna make it look nice to have this in the back and then in the front. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna grab we're gonna do the off-white because we have the black here. So I'm gonna grab my off-white colors, and then we're gonna go here, and we will just need to work from this corner to this corner and back and back and back. And then when we finish that, we will come back and do the front line, the front part of the sweater. But for now, let's go ahead and get started with this. So I'll grab my off-white color, and I have that here, and I'm just gonna prep my yarn like I always do. Oh, I hope I'm not completely off camera. I'm making sure I center myself. So I just prepare my yarn here. I'm gonna bring my hook in. So this is the same 5mm crochet hook that I've been using. You may see it as a different color. It may just be because I grabbed a different color. I'm gonna do a slip knot like this, and then I'm gonna take my hook off. And keep in mind, you're working on the outside of the work. Don't start your work on the other side, on the inside. We're gonna keep it consistent in the way it's gonna look by working it from the outside like this. And then just in the middle, in our chain 2 spot here, I'm gonna put the hook in, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring my loop that I just created with the slip knot, slip knot, and then I'm gonna do my chain 2 here, or chain 3. Not chain 3. Let's do chain 3, and then in that same gap, I'm gonna do 2 more double crochets. Okay, so 1 and 2, and this creates my granny stitch in the corner. And then I'm gonna move on to this gap here, and I'm gonna complete my granny stitch. So 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, the chain 3 here counts as a double crochet. That's why I was able to only just do two more double crochets. And then we go back to the next, so we skip the 3 double crochets, and in the space next to it we do 3 double crochets, and then we skip to the next space and we do the same thing. Okay, so we just continue to do this all across. And let me just check here, let me see, what do we do here? Yeah, so it's a little bit different here. So we will do our 3 double crochets here. We're gonna skip these 3 double crochets and do 3 double crochets here. And now this is a corner, so we have to because skipping from here to here may be difficult. So what I would want you guys to do is come back after you have done your 3 double crochets here, and then I will see what we need to do to kind of go to the other side. Okay, and then it will be the same thing after that. It will be the same thing that we need to do here. So I will show you guys how to work from here to here, so from the end of the black here to the beginning of the black on the other side, because then the rest of it is just as straight as this. Okay, so meet you guys when you get to the end of this black section in the middle. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my first side here of the bottom of the sweater, the increase. And as you can see, just like I said, I did my 3 double crochets in this gap here. So we're just gonna go into, so as you can see, this was the corner of this square here. So we're just gonna go into the middle of that here and complete 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're gonna jump right into the next gap here and complete 3 double crochets. Okay, 2 and 3. And then we just follow the same pattern or the same logic as we have been doing the other granny stitches. And when we get to the other end of this small square that we have here, I will show you how to complete the same part as the one I just showed you guys here. And then I will have you guys finish the rest of the row, and then I'll come back to show you guys how to start the second row, and then I'll have you guys work the rest of it until you have the increase of the length that you want, because it's not that difficult. It's very easy to work on it. After this row, it's easy to just kind of do the same thing over and over like this, except you're going to be changing colors. Every 2 rows of each color, you're going to change to the next color. In this case, we're just working with the black and the off-white. Okay, so nothing too complicated there, but obviously I will take you guys to the end of this row and how to start the next row. And then again, so it's the same thing we just did here. There's this corner here of this square. This is the same corner, another corner of the same square, and we just go into that and we complete 3 double crochets. Okay, oopsie. 2 and 3. And then what we have again here is pretty much, yeah, the corner again of this square, the big square here, or the big hexagon I should say. One of the corners is here, so we're gonna go right into the middle of the corner. So we have 3 double crochets over here, and then chain 1, and then 3 double crochets on this side. So that's what we're doing. We're going right into that corner, and then we hop right into the next gap here. So we skip the next 3 double crochets and we go into the gap to complete 3 double crochets. And then we just follow the same thing. So from here on, this other half that we have not done is going to be easy, because we just kind of do the same thing we have done on this side here. So continue working until you get to the corner. So in this corner here, you're going to do 3 double crochets, and then come back. I'm going to show you how to start the next row, and then I'm going to explain how to do the rest of it, because there's nothing complicated after that. So I'll see you guys when you get to the end of this row. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed the row completely. So as you can see, I have done my 3 double crochets in this corner here, and I've done the first row in the off-white. So now it's time to do the second. So to do the second, I start by doing a chain of 3 and then turning my work. And it's so big now, so I have to work on it like this. And then I turn my work, and then I go into this gap. So I skip the 3 double crochets here, and into this space I'm gonna go ahead and do my 3 double crochets. So 2 and 3. And then I will go ahead and I just want to make sure you guys can see, because if the work is kind of clustered here, it may not be too clear for you guys to see, but I hope you will be able to see. And then I just skip to the next gap here and complete my 3 double crochets, so my granny stitch. And then skip to the next, so skip the 3 double crochets here, and in the next gap do 3 double crochets, so you guys kind of understand what the jits is here. So I'm gonna do this all the way across to the other side. It's a long way to go because I have to go all the way here. So as you can see, I have to work across all the way to here. So you will do your 3 double crochets here. When you get to here, come back and I will show you how to finish this row off, and then how to change the color to the black, and then to start the next row. And that's where I will leave you guys. After that, I will leave you guys to do the rest of it on your own. But for now, finish this row and then meet up with me at the end. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my second row here. So as you can see, I have just one more stitch to do at the end. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna yarn over, go on top of the chain 2, so 1, 2, that we started, sorry, the chain 3, so on top of the chain 3 that we started the row with. And then I'm just gonna complete a double crochet there, okay? And then I'm going to change the color, so I'm actually not gonna finish the final loop here. So I'm gonna end up with 2 loops on the hook like this, and then I'm gonna cut my yarn here because I need to change the color. So I'm gonna bring my scissors, cut the color somewhere here, put the off-white away, and then I'm gonna bring in the black, and then I'm going to do 2 rows in the black, and then I'm gonna change to the off-white, do 2 rows in that. So but here to change the color, I just kind of put it like this. So I have my 2 loops. I'm holding the string that I just cut on my right hand side, and then I loop that through like this, and I complete it like that, okay? And then I do a chain of 3, so 1, 2, 3, and again this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And then I will turn, okay, while I'm still holding these guys here, and then in that gap here I'm going to complete 2 more double crochets. So with the chain 3 counting as a double crochet, I do 2 more to make it 3, and that is my granny stitch. And then I will move on to the next gap, so skip my 3 double crochets from the previous row, and then in the space right next to the left of it I will do 3 double crochets, and then do the same, skip these 3 stitches, and then in the space do 3 double crochets. And then I just continue that again the same way we did the last one, all the way across. It's a long way to go up to here. So when I come to here, I will do my 3 double crochets in this gap, skip these 3 double crochets, and then do 3 double crochets in this final gap here, and then chain 3, and then go into the next gap that's going to be kind of somewhere here, that will be created here, and then just continue to do that. And then when I finish my 2 rows, I will change it back to the off-white, and just continue that until you build the length that you want, the increase in the bottom of your sweater that you want. And like I said, with having my husband try these on and realizing it looks more like a crop sweater to him than an actual long sweater, we have to increase this by about 8 inches in the bottom, about 8 to 10 inches. Okay, so we're going to increase this probably by about that much, and then I'm gonna have him try it on as I continue to work on it. And then if we come to the right length that he likes, we're gonna end it there. And then I'm gonna come back and I will show you guys how to work with the middle of the sweater here, but also in the bottom. I have not decided yet whether I'm gonna just leave it loose like I did the sleeves. Most likely that will be what I do, just to stay consistent, but nevertheless I'm gonna if any change comes, I will come back to the video and show you guys how to do if there's anything I want to do different in the bottom. And just for this here where you change the color, it would be nice if you knot it as you go so that it doesn't unravel or come off. So just do 2 knots there. That way your work stays steady here. Okay. All right. So go ahead and build up your work. When you have the length that you want, come back, or, you know, in this case, just go to the next clip, and then you'll be able to see what we're doing next. Okay. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and done the increase in the bottom of the sweater here. So as you can see, I started by doing these 2 rows of the white here, and I've gone from here to here. So I have about 6 inches of the increase to the in the bottom, and I know I did say that I needed to increase it by 8 inches, but my husband just tried these on, and this length seems to be okay. So we're gonna stop it here. We may increase it if we need to, but so far this is gonna be what we leave here. He also did make a change, so I wanted to do the middle here, so that I could bring it in a little bit with these colors, the blue, the navy blue, the light blue, and the white. But he would prefer that I don't do that. So what I will actually do is I will go ahead and increase the middle here by just working maybe 2 or 3 more rows of the black. And because I did have the sleeves ending with 4 rows of the granny stitches in the black, I may actually just keep it consistent and work that around like this, but I'm gonna go to the bottom as well. So instead of it ending with the 2 rows in the bottom, it's gonna eventually at the end up with 4, because I'm gonna work myself from one corner like this and go all around and then come back here. So that is what we're gonna do. So as you can see, I have just ended my last 2 rows here. So I cut the yarn off because I thought I was gonna just be finished like that, but with the changes that we're doing, I do need to reconnect. I will probably connect on this side here and then start another row of granny stitches, and then just go around the neckline, come all the way down to here, go around the bottom, come back up to here, and then just repeat that maybe 2 or 3 more times. Okay, so that is the change that we're making for this. The other change that he prefers for this to be is he would like to have buttons in the front. So instead of just letting it stay loose like this, we're gonna use these buttons. So I do have these owl buttons that I got on Amazon a while back. You may have seen me use it for other projects in the past, but I have 4 here. I may just need 3, but if I need 4, I do have 4. And we can then kind of plan. I will plan with him where he wants a button to start and if he wants a button to go all the way down. So this is part that I will decide after I do the increase in the middle. Okay, so those are the changes that we're making for this. Hopefully it doesn't throw you off too much, because we started the project that was going to finish completely different, but now it's finishing out in another way. But it's okay, it's just a project that we're working on. I think these kind of changes are fun to kind of incorporate as you go, but hopefully it doesn't confuse you too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start in this corner here. So you just pick one corner. I picked this corner here because I would like to go around to from the left to the right and just go in clockwise. But if you do it on the other side, you'll end up just doing anti-clockwise in terms of how you work on your project. Okay, so I do have still my black color here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a slip knot so I can create a knot to be able to start my stitches. So just something like that. And then I'll take this corner here. So this corner is the 3 double crochets that we did when we did this last row here. I will go right into that. I will bring my hook through like this, and then I will do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then I will go into that same space and complete 2 more double crochets to make it 3. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at this. It's gonna eventually end up being a corner, but it's gonna be a corner when we work our work all the way back here. So this is literally the end at the beginning of the row. The end of the row will be when we go around, all around, to come back to here. Okay, and then I'm going to skip right into this gap here and do my 3 double crochets here. Okay, oops. And then I will skip right to the next gap right here and do 3 double crochets. And then I will move on to the next gap. So as you can see, we're just kind of filling the double crochets in all the spaces that are parallel to the double crochets for when we worked our work like this. Okay, so I pretty much just continue to work like this all around, from the bottom of the sweater on one side all the way, go across the neckline, and then go around the other side, or come down on the other side, and then go in the bottom, and then you're gonna end up pretty much right here. But I'm just showing you how to start here, and I will explain a little bit on how you work the top of the sweater there, and that way you kind of have an understanding of what we're doing. So I'm not gonna do too much of showing this here because again, we're not changing anything. We're continuing to use the granny stitches. We're continuing to use the same colors, and nothing really is very different except of how we're trying to increase to bring the middle of the sweater a little bit in, but also to increase going all the way to the bottom. Okay, so and then as you see here, I will do my 3 double crochets here, and then now from this point on it's just working like we have been. So this part here is the just like skipping 3 double crochets, and then in the next gap to the left you do your 3 double crochets, and then skipping these 3 double crochets, and on the left you do gap, you do the 3 double crochets. Okay, so work yourself across. So we're here, so you're gonna work yourself across all the way to the top. So you're gonna end up in this corner here. So when you get to this corner, come back to the video. I'm just gonna show you quickly. Actually, you don't even have to come back, because what you will do is you will do 3 double crochets here, then you will do 3 double crochets here, and then you will skip and do 3 double crochets here, and then you will skip and do 3 double crochets here, because this is the corner of this square, and then 3 double crochets here, and then just continue across the top, and then the same thing that you did in this corner you do here, and then work yourself back down the bottom. This part here is pretty much the same part as what we just did here, this here. So you're gonna work your 3 double crochets in these areas here. Don't mind these lumps here, just where I knotted and cut off the yarn, but it's also a good thing that we're working these stitches down because it's gonna cover this area. And then you will come to this corner. So maybe I will meet you in this corner here, so I can show you how to create a corner, and then I will have you guys finish the bottom to come back all the way to where we just started here. Okay, so let me meet you when you're literally on the other opposite side of where we just started. So it's down, it's the opposite side of your sweater coming down your body. Okay, I will see you guys then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my first row here of increasing in the middle. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. The project is quite big, so it's a little bit hard to show it all on video, but this is pretty much what I did. So I just went around. This is so far how the neckline area look with just the 1 row of the black completed, and then I went all the way down. So we started here in this bottom corner on the left hand side, and then I just kind of went around all the way to here so far, so in the bottom. And I just wanted to come back to show you guys quickly how to do the corner here, and then how to carry on in the bottom here. Okay, so I've done my 3 double crochets here. So now I have the corner here. So for the corner, I'm gonna go ahead and just complete 3 double crochets into the same corner, so which is the chain 3 that we started the row with, and then I'm gonna chain 1, and I'm gonna do 3 more into that same corner. Okay, into the same spot. So just like that. And then what I will do here is I will skip over to this gap here to complete my 3 double crochets. Okay, so I'll go ahead and complete 3 double crochets in this gap here. So I'm skipping the 3 double crochets from previously. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and skip over to this gap here and do 3 double crochets. So from this point on, you just work like we have been working this pattern. You just do your 3 double crochets along the bottom of your sweater. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to place it like this. So this is the bottom of your sweater here. So you're just gonna continue working this, and then you're gonna go all the way around to here. When you get to here, this is where we started the row. So this is actually finishing off this row. You're gonna do after you do your 3 double crochets in this gap, you're gonna go into this gap and do 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then slip stitch on top of the chain 3 that we started this row with. And then you will chain 3, and then into that chain 1 gap, you're gonna do 2 more double crochets to make it 3 with the chain 3, and then move over to this place here and do 3 double crochets, and then go around and just do the same thing, go all the way down. And then when you come back to here, after you finish, you go back and finish that extra row, and then come back to the video, and I will discuss how we do the buttons. If you do want to continue increasing and doing more rows so that you can have your middle here come in more, you can just continue when you have the look that you want in terms of how it looks like in front of your sweater. Then come back to the video, and I will go ahead and talk to you guys how to put the buttons for those of you who want to do the buttons. And if you want to leave it just kind of hanging loose like this, that is also an option. Okay, so I will see you guys when you have completed this part of the project. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and worked on the remaining rows here. So I just added 2 more rows. So as you remember, we had 2 rows here already of the black, and I just did 2 more rows as I had explained to you how to go about it. So that is done. And also it means that I have 4 rows in the bottom now, which matches the 4 rows that I have for each ending of each sleeve. So that is all good. So this is where I ended up my work here. So after doing the chain 1 and then joining it to the other side by slip stitching, I just slip stitch and then cut off my yarn. So I'm gonna go ahead and like kind of cut these off, weave it in and cut it off or whatever. But for these kind of projects, what I do usually is I just split the yarn like this, and then I just kind of knot it so that I don't have to weave it in, because I find that when I weave it in, it end up coming loose because of how wide the spacing of this pattern is, or this stitch. Okay, so I just do something like this. I just split the yarn and then I kind of just knot it multiple times, and then I just cut it off, which is the same thing that I did with all the remaining strands. So I've done all of that already. So of course, go ahead and weave in or cut all the strands for your sweater and then have it done. So you will also see that I have put the 2 buttons on. So I had my husband try these on, and he wanted just 3 buttons, so he chose the positioning. So he wanted one right here, and then there's one in the middle right here, and then I have one that I have placed a stitch marker of where I'm going to put the 3rd one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to show you how to do the 3rd, how to put the 3rd one in. So I'm just going to pretty much place it right here. So I already have the metal darning needle to be able to sew this. The reason I switched the darning needle, this is what I had previously, is because these guys are too thick. They don't go through the little holes for the buttons. So, and I actually ended up at some point ended up getting these metal ones for that reason, because it is smaller. So I've already threaded my needle here, and then I just go from underneath. So I just kind of place my needle. Let me just put it back here. I just place my needle underneath, and I just kind of poke it until it comes through one of the holes here. And it's gonna, I want it to go on the hole that is on my right. Just something, just kind of play with it. And if you don't find it, just put your hook through and then put it like that. That also works. And then I pull it through until I have like a little strand hanging, just something like that. And then I bring it back, and you want to make sure it's facing, because it's an owl, you want to make sure it's facing up. And then I go down on the other hole, and then I bring it through. And then I go through that one more time. So I just try to wiggle my way until I come back on the same place, and then go down on the other place like this. Okay, I don't do too many, so I just did 2, and I did that for the other ones as well. And then I'll flip this like this, and then I will cut the yarn somewhere here, put that away, we're done with it. And then I just knot this. So I knot it, but I make sure I also pull it really tight so that my button stays in place and doesn't kind of twist around. Okay, and I do the knots a couple of times here to just make sure that it's really nice and steady. And then I cut off the excess yarn somewhere here, and so now I have my button run. So done. So this is the one in the bottom, there's the one in the middle, and there's the one on top. Now in terms of how to put it on, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna line up the bottom of the sweater like this. Okay, because we don't have like buttonholes where we're gonna put it in, but these holes are big enough that we can just put it in these holes like this. So for example, for this one, I'm gonna put it here. So I'm just gonna be able to put it like this. See that? So that is how that's gonna go. And then I'm gonna straighten it up again, and then I'm gonna go somewhere here to put the second one in like that. And then for the third one, lining it up, I'm gonna go to somewhere here and place that in like that. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look when he has it on. This is how the buttons are gonna look in the middle. Okay, so that is pretty much done here, guys. I don't think there's anything else that I need to show you guys. And again, this idea of buttons is definitely optional, so you don't have to do the buttons. You can just leave it open and not have to do that. But even with the buttons, you can wear your sweater without having to button it up if you wanted to. But he wanted this option in case it's kind of a chilly day and he wanted to kind of button it up so that it's a little bit on the warmer side. So this is why we did buttons for his sweater. Okay, so this is nice. As you can see, this is the inside of it here, and then when you flip it to the other side, this is what's gonna show in his back. So when he has these on, this is nice, the nice pattern that is gonna show on his back. Again, it's gonna be nicer when these pictures, when we do the pictures, or you've seen the pictures at the beginning of the video. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you enjoyed making these with me. Thank you so much again, and make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.